Does Fontaine make me feel represented? It's not my culture. Chad, I'm not from France. I'm from Canada. I guess I could just keep saying, venting my frustration about not knowing what to say, but in French. J'ai juste aucune idée quoi dire. Comme, qu'est-ce que je suis supposé faire, ça? Trouve de l'inspiration. Ta gueule, calice! Qu'est-ce que vous dites? Comment ça sonne allemand? Ça sonne pas allemand? Tu sonnes allemand, si. Ça sonne allemand. Ta gueule, chat. C'est pas ce que tu dis. M'a crissé une baguette dans le... Maybe I shouldn't go that far. That might be a little too far. I like how the French speakers are hawing and the non-French speakers are just saying and baguette because they don't know what I said. I said, I'm gonna shove a baguette up your... Oh. Non, mais c'est pas si difficile de... C'est pas si difficile de parler d'une manière qui est quand même facile à comprendre. C'est juste... Au Québec, on sac beaucoup. Puis on prononce pas beaucoup. Les seuls mots qu'on prononce au complet, c'est les sacs. Même à ça, on prononce pas tous les sacs au complet. Stit calice. Des fois, on fait juste pas prononcer le E. It's not esti, it's sti. Les sacs, what's that? Les jurons. Oh my god. Juron. Goofy ass word. Oh. C'est fucking con. Imagine venir de France, man. Ce serait... la honte. Je sais pas si je serais capable de survivre. C'est trop. Ben trop. Can you pronounce some French tongue twister? Les chaussettes de l'archiduchesse sont-elles sèches ou archi-sèches? What are some other French tongue twisters? Oh, un chasseur sachant chasser, c'est chasser sans son chien. Genshin Banner League. So apparently, Lenny and Lynette on first phase of 4.0. Fréminet. Riosley? I don't know how to say this is Worcestershire sauce. That's his name. Myrianelle Nevillette. Furina de Fontaine. Charlotte. And in 4.3, Arlecchino, Benu. And then we've got, apparently, the dead lady, like Guizhong, I think. Or maybe it's someone else, I don't know. It looks like her, though. And Madame Ping, Cloud Retainer, whatever. And then we've got Nevia and Furina de Fontaine rerun. How would I rank the 4-star healers in general usefulness? That's an interesting question. We can take a look at that. Genshin Impact tier list. Okay. Let's start by putting all of the 4-star healers in there. Let me know if I forget one. Diona, Noelle, thank you. Am I missing any? I have Barbara. Goro? Nah. I'm not gonna include Goro. It's only at C4. Jean is not a 4-star healer. Should I also include like shielders? I feel like I should. Is there anyone else? Yeah, there's Toma. Beto, technically. Alright, so this is in terms of general utility. I mean, I think this, and this probably happen. Like, I think that's pretty fair. If so, why not Beto? Because Beto's shielding is reliant on constellations. Same reason why Yunfei is not there. Oh, Shenyan, yes, thank you. She also gives damage reduction, yeah, but that's not the same thing. This is based on healing or general strength / value. It's trying to be holistic about everything included. In terms of, like... Yeah. I'm gonna put Singso in A, because... while his defensive utility, like healing, is not as high as some of the others, he does so much else, so many other things. His heals can't compete with corrosion. I mean, sure, but it's not like corrosion is a common thing. Like, keep in mind, right? It's not just that. Like, Singso will heal you for 24% of his max HP, right? Which is like 4k. Which isn't all that good, but he also gives you almost 50% damage reduction, which makes that 4k HP the equivalent of about 8k damage taken. Right? So you can think of Singso's as basically as an 8k damage shield. Which compared to the other shielders is a little bit less, but it's not actually much less. It's actually fairly close. And when you take into account everything else that he provides, he'd go here. This is like as a solo defensive utility option. By the way. I feel like Cookie should be slightly lower. Why? Yeah, I mean, you could build him HP healing bonus. That's true. If you really want the heals, you can make him heal for like fucking 10k. Which is gonna be the equivalent of like 20k effective HP. Then you lose damage reduction. Alright, fine. HP Hydro healing bonus. Is that better? Does that make you happy? Trying to survive with only Singto as your healer is cringe. Personally, I find it easier to survive with Singto as my only form of defensive utility than with, like, Sayu as my only form of defensive utility. But also, the enemies are going to die faster, which means that you don't actually have to survive for as long. Which is also relevant. I'm considering Singto damage reduction. Shouldn't Beidou count too? The reason I'm considering Singto damage reduction is it's not just the damage reduction, it's the damage reduction complements his healing. Beidou doesn't have healing for her damage reduction to complement, you know, yeah. What about Goro? It only works on cons. At the end of the day, right, there's so many factors that go into it that this is very, very subjective, right? I'm trying to give my overall thoughts on, like, how good I'd feel about this unit being my main form of defensive utility. That's basically what it boils down to. Alright. Toma in Burgeon teams wouldn't be very high, but Toma in, like, non-Burgeon teams is actually, like, probably in A as well. Maybe in B, because he doesn't offer that much outside of the defensive utility in non-Burgeon teams. Kirara, probably in B as well. Pretty close to Toma in terms of that defensive utility. Diona might get into A. The main thing with Diona is that the cryo slot is a little bit more competitive than the hydro slot for freeze teams. And using a healer in your cryo slot will often hurt your team more than using a healer in your hydro slot. Because the hydro healers are better. And the hydro non-healers don't synergize as well in freeze teams. But even then, she's still pretty okay. Lila's difficult because she's another character where, like, the difference between C0 and C6 is pretty fucking big. C0, Lila's shield feels like paper. It really does. I'd say at C0 she's here, at C6 she's probably here. I'm not entirely sure where exactly I'll put her, but C tier is empty right now, so I'll put her there. It's only C1 that increases shielding. Well, yeah, it's C1 and C3, I think. But yeah, I guess I should have said without constellations and with constellations. Isn't Kirara's shield pretty big? Yeah, it's pretty big. Okay, out of the remaining ones, Mika stays there for sure. Barbara probably goes to C. I mean, in Nilo teams, she can go to B. It'll depend. But C tier is empty, so I'm gonna put her in C. I don't care. Sayu probably goes in C as well. I think that's it. I think that this would be. That being said, though, again, right, I am reiterating this. There are so many factors that go into what can make a defensive unit good or bad that there's just too many things to consider for. But yeah, like, there's just not really enough. There's too many factors for there to be one objective thing. Like, you could have a something that looks very different from this, and it would still be completely reasonable with the context of how you're explaining it. You're trolling if you think Noelle is on the same defensive tier as Xinyan. I mean, the only situation in which Noelle provides actual significant defensive utility is if you're actually playing carry Noelle. And that's not good. Any tier list Mika gets higher than D? I don't know, being employed tier list? Because he is employed.